Everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is James in Nashville, and in this video let's talk about some of the things that are being just talked about now in the Walking Dead universe. Some of the recent things that came out in the news as far as the Daryl Carroll spinoff, Melissa McBride not being in it, but it does tell us that press release that it's going to be filmed and set in Europe. Not just filmed in Europe to be America, but filmed and set in Europe. So it's like, how does Daryl get over there? And is Rick over there? There's a lot of questions and stuff like that relating to that news and the whereabouts of Rick and when the movies are coming and just a lot of talk. But the reason for the video is there's so many comments and so many messages and things like that about Rick's brother. For those of you that are unfamiliar, I did a video on a comic. It's a one-off comic, just one comic. It's called The Alien. And the comic is about Rick's brother over in Spain. It's happening right at the beginning of the outbreak, so you get to follow his brother through his story. And spoiler alert, I will talk a little bit about that comic. If you check out that video, there's a link to the video that I did on the Alien comic and about Rick's brother down in the description. That video's description is a link to the comic itself online, a free version you can read. It just has some iffy ads and stuff on the page that might pop up. So that's where all of these comments are coming in, that in the standard The Walking Dead comic book, Jeffrey was mentioned a couple of times. He hasn't been mentioned in the show. Some people say that Rick and Carl were talking maybe in the barn in season 2 or somewhere, and he mentioned his brother or his uncle, Carl's uncle, but that didn't happen as far as I could find. And some people said Lori might have mentioned it, but I didn't see that either in the show. If you guys know about it, point it to me. But it was talked about. Those times were kind of discussed in the comic. He was mentioned a couple of times. Another company actually came to Robert Kirkman and said, hey, I want to do a Walking Dead story if you'll let us. And Robert Kirkman let them do that one comic called The Alien about his brother, Jeffrey. So another thing, if you're not familiar with the comic universe, the games, many of the games, Telltale's The Walking Dead with Clementine, that's comic side of things. The comic universe is different. That's why some characters in the comics could live and have a different story or die sooner than their TV counterpart. And the TV characters can do whatever they need to do in different ways because it's two different universes. But hey, you might say Rick and Carl and Lori, they were in the comics, they were in the show. The Governor, the Whisperers, Commonwealth, all of that was in the comics. And it's in the show, so why couldn't Rick's brother be in the show? Just because he wasn't mentioned in the show and just because they haven't shown him yet, it's a perfect time in Europe because that's where Rick's brother's supposed to be, in Spain. He could definitely appear. So I'm not sure if I explained that kind of correctly, but here's my reasoning why I do not think we will see him in the show or the movies or a spinoff of The Walking Dead. Robert Kirkman started the comic. At a certain point, AMC picked up the comic for the TV show. Okay, at that moment, when the contracts were written and the rights were being discussed, Robert Kirkman still owns the comic side. He could continue the comic. He could start writing the comic again. He could start a whole new story. He could do spin-offs of the comic. He could do whatever he wants on the comic side. The comic universe is one thing. The TV universe is another. Two different things. Robert Kirkman still has the comic universe, but he does not have any say-so anymore or any of the rights to the TV universe. Yes, he still has those connections to get royalties and stuff like that, but he sued AMC, so that's another kink in the chain as far as they don't really let him do as much. And especially since season 11 is about to be over, from that point on, AMC is in 100% control of the new creation. They're past the comic. You know, Robert Kirkman didn't give them any more source material. It'll be over at the end of season 11, and everything after that is all AMC. It would benefit them greatly to come up with new characters in their universe and not bring any characters from the comic universe, thus involving Robert Kirkman again. Could they have made the deal prior to take the Alien into the TV universe? I don't think they have. I don't think, as far as interviews with Gail Hurd, some of the showrunners and executive producers, they never really had any intention of including Rick's brother. But now we get this Europe thing and like, oh my God, Spain is in Europe, so his brother, it's got to be a part of it. It could be. It totally could be. They could put Jeffrey Grimes in the spinoff, in the Daryl spinoff, in the Michonne spinoff, in the Rick movie. Totally. But everything is pointing against that. Everything as far as the rights, the contracts, Kirkman, AMC, the way they're going, the way they want to go, that definitely does not include Jeffrey Grimes. So the question is, let's say AMC does have Rick's brother become a character in the TV show, and his name could be Paul or something totally different, right, than Jeffrey. But still, it's Rick's brother in Europe. Can AMC do that without involving Kirkman, or there be some kind of rights and things like that happen between the Alien comic and AMC? Could AMC just do that and not get any, Kirkman, would he say anything if there wasn't any specific rights written down? I think he would. I think there would be an issue there. But hey, that's a lot of rambling to get to the final point of, personally, I think the rights, the contracts, because Jeffrey's in the comic universe, I just don't see it happening in the TV universe. So let me know your thoughts about all of that down in the comments below, and I will join you there. This is James in Nashville. As always, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more dead stuff.